Hello and welcome once again. The world economy for the past decade has been dominated and led by the United States of America through the petrodollar mechanism, which was established in the 1970s, which was basically an agreement between the US and the Saudi Arabia where crude oil were traded and denominated in the US dollars. This enabled the United States currency to spread globally, enabling the US dollar to become the global reserve for most central banks. But this mechanism is about to be weakened as Saudi Arabia is in talk to join the BRICS economic bloc. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the impact of this attempt to weaken the US petrodollar system and the impact of Saudi Arabia joining the BRICS alliance. Now, BRICS is an economic bloc which is made up of 5 major emerging economies in the world. That is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Putting all these nations together constitute about 40% of the global population and contributes about 24% of global GDP. Now, the BRICS is currently making moves to expand its alliance. Countries such as Algeria, Argentina, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt have expressed their interest of joining the BRICS alliance. Now, majority of all these nations that have expressed their interest of joining this economic bloc have something in common. Most of them are members of OPEC, which is a group of oil producing and exporting nations around the world. Among all these nations, Saudi Arabia's move to join BRICS is of a massive move, which could weaken the global usage of the US dollar. Saudi Arabia has said it has plans to drop the petrodollar mechanism and allow certain nations to buy oil in their various currencies. Also, Saudi Arabia is currently in talk with China to allow the sale of oil to China in the Chinese yuan instead of the US dollars. Now, what this therefore means is that just as the establishment of the US petrodollar mechanism enabled the US dollar to gain dominance in global market, the Chinese yuan will also gain dominance in global transaction. Now, members of BRICS are currently working to develop a global single currency through the bridge system based in Hong Kong. And also, the Chinese yuan is currently the 5th traded currency in the world, according to an article released by Bloomberg. Putting all this aside, now what this means is that in the future and in the days to come, nations such as Iran and other nations that have been placed on US sanction can now conduct international trade without the use of the US dollar and the use of the SWIFT system, making US sanctions useless and less effective. If all these nations that have expressed their interest in joining the BRICS were to be accepted, it will increase the total population of BRICS member nations from 40% to 50%, which is half of the total population of the world. And moreover, this is going to lead the BRICS alliance to control 60% of global gas reserve. Now, as a result of the Ukraine and Russia conflict, which led to Russia losing its access to the SWIFT system and Russia losing access to its reserve, nations around the world were shocked, for reason being that it goes against international rules and norms, and also a nation losing its reserve and losing access to the SWIFT system indirectly block this nation from having access to the global trading system. So now nations around the world are looking for options so as to diversify their risks and their over-reliance on the SWIFT system. So the BRICS coming up with this move is clearly an attempt to provide another option to the SWIFT system. Now, the global economic system is gradually shifting towards a multipolar dimension, and nations in the world are making strategic moves to secure their national interests. In the short term, the US petrodollar system will continue to dominate global trade, but in the long term, this mechanism will be weakened, giving member nations and the BRICS alliance a leverage in the global trade. My question is, do you think the BRICS nations have what it takes to bring down or weaken the US SWIFT system and the petrodollar mechanism? I cherish your comments, so kindly leave your comment and subscribe so you don't miss the next video I will be uploading. And also remember to click the bell icon so that you will be notified immediately I release my new videos. Thank you so much and have a good day.